Welcome guys back to another episode of Arsenal Transfer News Daily. We are back again with another episode, and yesterday was an amazing win over Fulham, 3-0 win. If you haven't seen my match reaction for that, go see it in my channel. Hopefully the link will be down in the description box below. If not, it will be in the channel. And yeah, let's get straight into today's news, including Raya. Now, obviously Martinez, it looks like he'll be leaving. We'll be talking about another advantage of Raya later on in this episode, but first of all, we're going to be talking about David Raya. Now, he has been linked over the last few weeks as a possible replacement for Emi Martinez. Obviously, he's from Brentford, and Arsenal reportedly preparing a £10 million bid for Brentford goalkeeper David Raya, as Mikel Arteta prepares for Emiliano Martinez's Emirates exit. Arsenal reportedly set to waste no time in addressing their goalkeeping situation and make a £10 million bid for Brentford's David Raya. Mikel Arteta's side are on the verge of shaking on a £20 million agreement to see Emiliano Martinez switch to Aston Villa this summer to become first choice at Villa Park, and Arsenal will then directly invest half of these funds into signing Raya from Thomas Frank's Bees, according to The Sun. The 25-year-old is said to be keen to play Premier League football, though would be brought in as understudy to Bernd Leno. Arteta has already decided the German is set to be his number one stopper, despite Martinez starring in both recent FA Cup final and Community Shield successes. As is reported that the knock-on effect would see Brentford look at Charlton's Dillian Phillips as a replacement. On Saturday, Arsenal officially kicked off their new Premier League campaign with a convincing 3-0 win over newly promoted Fulham. Leno was back between the sticks for the Gunners and kept a clean sheet behind new central defender Gabriel, who actually scored in that game. Martinez was out for the squad for the game, instead preparing for his medical as he edges closer to Villa Park. The Argentine has agreed a long-term contract believed to be worth around £60,000 a week to join Dean Smith's side and will represent an injection into the transfer kitty for Arsenal. We'll talk about the transfer boost in terms of the 20 million coming in a bit. And yeah, that is the news. The Arsenal will most definitely be looking at David Raya as a replacement for Emi Martinez. Now, this is very sad. I've talked about this before in yesterday's episode or the day before. I did talk about Emi Martinez and the fact that David Raya will be looked at as a replacement. Now, we are bringing in anywhere between 16 to 20 million pounds for Emi Martinez. Now, I'll be talking about the monetary boost in a bit, but I just want to talk about David Raya. He looks like an okay goalkeeper. I don't know too much about him, but he does keep quite a few clean sheets. He is said to be quite good on the ball, and that is something what we need, because Mikel Arteta, his playing style is playing up from the back, and we need a goalkeeper good with his feet. Again, that's something I think Bernd Leno still needs to work on, but again, as time goes on under Mikel Arteta, Bernd Leno will understand that, and I think he'll become much better than that. I thought he was very solid against Fulham, played very, very well, and the first save he made when there's a bit of miscommunication between Gabriel and his teammate Linares, I thought he covered very well for both of them, and I think he got Arsenal out of jail in that one, and Arsenal obviously went on to win 3-0, and he didn't have much to do after that, Bernd Leno. But sometimes in games like against Fulham, they have one little chance, maybe from a mistake from your own team, and then that's where a goalkeeper will be so crucial to save you from that situation. And I think Bernd Leno is very good at that, and I think I'm very happy to keep Bernd Leno at the club. If Mikel Arteta wants to keep him as number one, fair enough. If Emi Martinez is leaving, okay, hopefully it's for the better of our club. Hopefully we are putting money into improving our club in that respect. And yeah, we are going to be bringing in David Raya again. Don't know too much about him, but as much as I've told you already. So yeah, that's the news, that we have been linked to David Raya. We will be making a £10 million bid in a bid to try and secure him. Next bit of news is on Houssem Aouar. Now again, we are talking about Houssem Aouar once again. I swear this is like the 4th or 5th day consecutive we're talking about him, but this is linking on to the previous bit of news when we were discussing David Raya and Emi Martinez. Now, Emi Martinez, we are going to be selling him for a reported £20 million, anywhere between 16 to 20 million pounds. Now, if we are going to spend £10 million on David Raya, that does leave anywhere between 6 to 10 million pounds to spend on Houssem Aouar. Now, Houssem Aouar, as I said yesterday, is now our number one target. We are going to be going after him ahead of Thomas Partey. Now, Houssem Aouar, again, is a player I think we desperately need. I think that creative flair from the midfield is something we really need, because you saw the goal we scored, the third goal for example, it's all down the wing. We need stuff down the middle as well. We can't always be relying on our wide players to create chances, because even though Willian is a player that can create from the wide, we still need someone down the middle, and I think Houssem Aouar perfectly fits that bill, and as talked about so many times already. But now we do have 6 to 10 million pounds. Now, Houssem Aouar's deal, 55 million euros, will be one of installments obviously. Arsenal have already put £31.5 million on the table, which was with Guendouzi. Now, We're still obviously going to be using that £31.5 million for Houssem Aouar. Add around £10 million to that, we have around £41 odd million. Again, we still need to find €10 million from somewhere else. Hopefully, maybe raising funds from Socrates' departure, maybe Chambers could fund that possibly. And yeah, I think that is a good monetary boost to have from Emi Martinez. I think what have Arsenal done? The board have looked at it and said, we can, sell him for £20 odd million, which is something Arsenal wouldn't have got last year. 10 million. The price they were trying to sell Emi Martinez for last year was around £10 million, £7 million, and now because he's done so well for the last 12-15 games of the season, his value has gone up and he's now £20 million. So Arsenal have said, let's just cash in on him. We're earning a profit here, even though I think he is probably a better goalkeeper. But yeah, that's how it works, to be honest. I'm not going to go too much on. I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm just going to move on. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to just move on and deal with things like that. But moving on, and Houssem Aouar is a player we really need. I'm not going to talk too much about him. I'm not going to ramble on about him. But this is a good monetary boost to have from Emi Martinez's departure, so we can put it into Houssem Aouar's bid. So that is the news. Now we have received a monetary boost for Houssem Aouar. Next bit of news is on Alexandre Lacazette. Moving on now from Houssem Aouar, Emi Martinez, and etc. We are going to be talking about Lacazette now. Last few weeks, again, I've talked about Lacazette quite a lot because there has been a lot of interest from clubs like Juventus and Atletico Madrid. Juventus were willing to do a swap deal with the likes of Daniel Rugani, but Arsenal weren't interested in a swap deal. They wanted cash only, something that Arsenal, a bit hypocritical, because Arsenal, always want to do swap deals with their targets, but, they're saying, no, we want cash. So, it does say that we're in a, financial problem, with the pandemic and all. So, clubs don't want to do cash only deals because they don't know how good the player is going to be, and then they could make a loss, things like that, because, clubs aren't in the best of financial needs. Obviously, Chelsea are the exception here, but Lacazette, it looks like Atletico Madrid are still interested in him. But Lacazette was spoken to after the game against Fulham, and he did give an interview which said, I'm very happy here, it's just a press talking. Very concise there from Alexandre Lacazette, saying that, it's just a press talking and he's very happy here. Now, he didn't commit himself to his future to Arsenal, and he did look very happy in the dressing room. Obviously, Aubameyang on his IG, putting that video up. Obviously, you might have seen it on YouTube or anywhere else. And yeah, Lacazette looks like he may stay. Now, again, Arsenal, are trying to sell before they can buy, and obviously Alexandre Lacazette's coming out saying he's very happy. It's just a press talking, so he could stay. He's very good friends with Willian, and obviously Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, his striker compatriot. Now, again, £37 million is something Arsenal do want. €40 million. Atletico Madrid are said to not willing to pay that much, but they want to pay around £30 million, which is said to be the fee. Now, a few weeks ago, the consensus was that Arsenal were willing to sell him to fund moves for the likes of Thomas Partey, Houssem Aouar, obviously, and £30 million deal was really close. Now, Alexandre Lacazette is a player, he played alright against Fulham. He got the opening goal of the Premier League season, as he did in 2017-18. Quick fact there for you guys, like I did in the match reaction. If you did watch the match reaction, you guys can watch it in the first link in the description box down below. But moving on, Lacazette, quite good. But again, the thing with Lacazette is, as a striker, you don't get, rated too much for holding up the ball in that. It's about how many goals you score, and last season you just didn't do enough of that. So if Arsenal can get a decent chunk of money for him, I wouldn't mind. If he stays, I wouldn't mind. But Odsonne Edouard is the player that I talked about yesterday. The interest is ramping up a bit from Arsenal. Apparently, they had a £15 million bid rejected for him, and now they're putting a £22 million bid in for Odsonne Edouard again to try and sign him. So I do believe if you sign Edouard, we will get rid of Lacazette. Now, again, that will give us a £10 million boost because we are making a profit on it. Selling Lacazette, bringing in Edouard. Again, a very young player. Edouard scored 28 goals last season, way more than Lacazette did. And I think we need goals from more positions in our team because Lacazette, we relied too much on Aubameyang last season. Now we brought in Willian. He'll bring goals and assists to the table. Hopefully, Ceballos will bring more goals. Maybe Aouar, if he joins, he'll bring more goals. We need more goals in our team, which is something, that could propel us into higher positions up in the Premier League table. So I think Edouard could bring that. Again, I'm not a big fan of Lacazette, but I think what he does sometimes off the ball, defending wise, his work rate is very good. I've never faulted his work rate ever, but I still think he needs to score more goals. Something I think Edouard could bring us in this team. So that is the news that Lacazette has denied transfer rumours despite lots of interest from Atletico Madrid and the willingness for Arsenal to possibly sell him. In other little bits of news that I'm just going to tell you guys, and first of all, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, I have not put this guy in the title. I know he's a done deal, guys. Believe me, this is a done deal. Mikel Arteta is very, very confident. To be honest, since day one, Mikel Arteta has always been confident that Aubameyang will sign, and he did say in his press conference that he is more confident than ever that he will sign. And now after the game, you know, he said that a decision is impending. You know, basically he's going to sign next week, and I don't know what the hold up is with Aubameyang. I don't know why the announcement has taken so long, but I do think this has been done for like months now, but it's just not been announced. I don't know, maybe it's like little details that need to be sorted out. Sometimes that is the case with big contract deals like this one. It is reported to be around £375,000 a week on a 3-year deal. Now that is the Aubameyang news. Secondly, Rob Holding. Now I did say a few days ago that there was a U-turn. He was set to join Newcastle as reported by the Athletic, David Ornstein, but there has been a U-turn, and then now apparently Mikel Arteta actually came out of the game and openly said that you know, he's going nowhere. Rob Holding's going nowhere. To be fair, his performances in the last few games, especially against Liverpool, the 2 games against Liverpool, he has been pretty good, pretty solid, and really pocketed Mane, if you like. Some people use that phrase, and you know, he's been quite good, and I think he could be a good backup to some of the players we have, and he did play very well against Fulham. He played the game against Fulham, so you make a lot of it, does put a lot of trust in him, and he is going nowhere. So that is the news on Rob Holding. And lastly, I just wanted to quickly discuss Matteo Guendouzi, because he was once again left out of the squad for the game against Fulham. Now, Mikel Arteta did say in a few press conferences ago that everyone had a clean slate and he will probably get another chance. Now, Arsenal have been actively looking to sell him. He was actually questioned whether he was put, you know, because Junior said, the Lyon sporting director, Charles Watts, actually questioned Mikel Arteta, saying that, you know, whether he has actually a future at Guendouzi, because he's confirmed being put in a swap deal for Aouar. He clearly denied that. He didn't deny it, but he just decided not to talk about it. And I don't know what's going on with Matteo Guendouzi, whether he will be an Arsenal player. To be honest, I rate him. I think he is a very good player, but apparently his attitude issues mean that he will no longer have a role under Mikel Arteta. But if you do remember, you know, Granit Xhaka, obviously, you know, what he did against Crystal Palace, and then the way he's come back has been very, very good. Nevertheless, it was under another manager, but you know what I mean. You know, it's that kind of comeback that a player has, and hopefully maybe Matteo Guendouzi does have another chance. But you know, no club really wants him. You know, Paris Saint-Germain, that interest is basically dead in the water. Thomas Tuchel was questioned about Matteo Guendouzi. He basically denied it. So yeah, that's a bit sad on Matteo Guendouzi's part, that, you know, he's kind of stuck now at Arsenal in a way, and Mikel Arteta is kind of stuck with him. Maybe Arsenal should try and go for Villarreal's offer in a way that, you know, there was a loan fee with an obligation to buy for a bit less, something that Arsenal could be open to do, and were open to do with Torreira. Now apparently Torino in. I don't know, that's gone really quiet with Lucas Torreira. I'm not sure what's going on in that respect, but Matteo Guendouzi, news is he's been left out of the squad against Fulham, even though Arteta said he could have a clean slate, and his future is very, very uncertain at the moment. So that is all of today's news. Again, it's a Sunday and it's just after a match day, so you don't really tend to get a lot of news today, but I've done my best to try and give you all the news. I've basically squeezed out all the news for you guys, and I put it into one video, 12.5 minute video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.